Welcome to Coach Fick's Football Academy. I'm Coach Fick. In this video, we're going to talk about how to rebuild a varsity program. In this video, we're going to talk about how to rebuild a varsity program. And I'll tell you, the number one thing that is not the problem is the kids or student athletes. So let's get that rabbit out of the hat right now. As we look at a varsity program, one of the biggest things to help and start rebuilding the program involves everybody and the key word commitment. So when we talk about commitment, we need commitment from administrators of the school, parents, the community, the student athletes, the teachers, the whole community that makes up a district is a key part in staying and being committed to helping rebuild a varsity program. So what all does that entail when we talk about this commitment that we all need to have? Well, we need to strategize. We need to have a plan. Obviously, there's been struggle. There's been issues that we need to address. Now, there's no time to pass blame. There's no reason for that. So we don't blame people, oh, it's their fault, it's this person's fault. No, that's not how you rebuild anything. What we do is we address the problem issues and then we start brainstorming solutions. So some solutions that I have and think of whenever we talk about rebuilding a varsity program, it involves all levels. Because a rebuild doesn't just start with your freshman or sophomore class, whoever kicks off your varsity program. It starts all the way down with the little ones at the youth age. So how do we do that? Well, we bring the coaches together. Coaches shouldn't be separated from, hey, we're varsity coaches, we don't talk to those youth coaches. That doesn't work. Varsity coaches should be in constant communication with middle school coaches as well as youth coaches because we need to make the whole program work together. And that's not just with the system, but that's the fundamentals that we want taught. We should be communicating about, okay, here's our blocking schemes. Here's our formations. These are the names of what we call things. Because when we look at a varsity program, we at least want the terminology to be consistent. Yeah, you're going to tweak. Maybe this year you're running a power offense, and in 2 years from now you're running a zone. That's fine. But what we want is consistent terminology. Because with kids, especially youth, and as we get into middle school, everything is learned. If we teach them, hey, this is called pro-I right in the youth league, and we continue that in the middle school, it becomes second nature for those athletes when they get to the varsity level. So we got to work and collaborate together to think of how are we going to name things? What are we going to do terminology-wise to stay consistent for these kids? The next thing is, when you're a varsity coach, you need to be committed to those younger programs. You should be stopping by middle school practices. You should be seeing their games. You should be stopping by some of the youth practices and youth games. You want the athletes to see you. You want to develop this desire that, man, I can't wait to play for coach whoever. Like, that's part of the excitement. I also encourage you to get a youth football camp where you involve your varsity players and your varsity coaching staff, and then you bring the youth in the community so, again, they have something to look forward to. When kids have something to look forward to, they have something to fight for, something to push for, something to keep working for. And that's what you want. That's part of that commitment together. Another great idea of what we can do to help rebuild is not only talk about the terminology between coaches, but we should also be meeting at the end of this season to discuss together the upcoming talent. What do we need to work on? What can we be better at? What are we good at right now that this group of kids, we can establish with them as they get older? That communication must be done so that way you know what's coming to you. It can't just be a crapshoot whenever they come up to the varsity level and you're like, oh, we got these kids. This kid looks good. No. What's your quarterback style? Is he a pro-style quarterback? Is he a zone read quarterback? Is he a spread offense quarterback? You should know that before you have a single varsity off-season workout. Another part of the rebuild is bringing the community and the school involved as well. I am a proponent that if you're a student athlete, you should be one of the exemplary behavior children in the school setting. And that also stems from your coaches instilling that in you, as well as the school supporting you. So we want to build that positive behavior so that way we are looked up to and not looked down upon. When we also talk about school, it's being committed to our grades. We've talked about this in other videos about college recruiting. Colleges are looking for kids that are getting in the books and getting good grades. And they want to see that. They want to see that commitment from them. So as coaches, we should support that. Maybe that's in implementing a study hall. Maybe that's implementing tutoring sessions before practice. There are various ways that you can work with your school and administration on that to find a way that works best for your student athletes in your practice schedule. Again, when we talk about these rebuilds, how to do it the right way, it involves everybody coming together. Community events. Are your athletes there? Are they involved in the community? Maybe you have a community cleanup or a community day. Your athletes should be down there, mixing with other people, getting people excited for your upcoming season. Building that relationship, because life is about relationships. So if you build those relationships, people will support you. People will believe in what you're doing. The last thing that I'm going to speak about on this video, and we could do plenty more on how to rebuild. So we probably will come out with a series on this, and this will be part 1. But the last thing I want to talk about is character development. Character development is something that I feel is very important that should be implemented into your program. From the youth to the middle school to the high school. It takes maybe 30 minutes a week where you take one day. My suggestion is your day before your game. So like for varsity football, your Thursday practice, before you step on that field, you should have a character development talk with your kids. Talk about developing the character within that student athlete, within that individual. Show them that it's not just about what happens on the field, but what happens in life. Because 99.8% of those athletes, or whatever the ridiculous number is, will not be going pro in the sport that they're playing in. So our role as coaches is to also develop that character within the child to help prepare them for life. So this is part 1 of our varsity rebuild. And what I suggest is start implementing those things now. And step 1 in implementing that is the commitment to communication with the school, administration, teachers, staff, students, coaches, and community members. And if you start there and be open to what people are saying, do not pass blame, but come up with solutions, you can start your rebuild right now. As always, we thank you for taking time to watch our videos. If you like what we give to you, please subscribe to our channel. It helps us to keep going. Please like our videos, make any comments, any questions that you have, any videos that you'd like for us to do for you as well. We'll continue talking about how to rebuild a varsity program in one of our upcoming videos. And again, in everything you do, no slack, just hustle.